My friends, I'm here today to recognise the memory of the tens of thousands of innocent people who lost their lives in the war that ended some 2 years ago. I'm here today to ask the questions, and I see a banner at the back which says it all. Are they alive? It is unacceptable for people not to know what has happened to their relatives, not to know what has happened to the children, not to be able to live their lives in peace and harmony with dignity. I recently met with and asked these questions to the Sri Lankan High Commissioner. I will continue to ask these questions until such time as your relatives, our brothers and sisters, know exactly what has happened. Those who committed crimes must be brought to justice. It is unacceptable when today we see around the world, as my friend and colleague Robert Halfon has said, people fighting for freedom, that people have been punished for wanting nothing more than freedom. The Tamil people must have their autonomy. They must be in control of their own destiny. They must be able to have hospitals, education, food, homes. To that end, in my role as chairman of the All-Party Group, I am asking to go to the United Nations very shortly to make these demands, to ask for the independent inquiry that you want, that you need, and that you deserve. 2 years ago, camps were started. Like my friend Robert Halfon, I am also Jewish. I have visited the sites of Auschwitz and other camps that were under a Nazi regime. It is unacceptable 2 years that the camps are still there. They should be closed. The people should be allowed to go home in freedom and dignity now. Now I'm just going to put my glasses on because I can't read this without it. I'm going to read to you and launch an international independent investigation in Sri Lanka, a petition. It reads, the allegations of war crimes and crimes against humanity committed during the civil war in Sri Lanka, particularly towards the end of the conflict, is a matter of grave concern for the international community. The advisory panel appointed by the United Nations Secretary General in its report highlights its concerns as follows. It is imperative that the international community steps in to ensure accountability, not to be held hostage to unnecessarily slow or otherwise ineffective national efforts. Thus, while the Sri Lankan authorities should immediately embark on a genuine investigation of alleged violations in this report, the panel considers that an independent and complementary international approach is imperative. I share these concerns of the United Nations Advisory Panel, and I have already, last week in Parliament, urged my Prime Minister to take the lead in the international arena and bring perpetrators of any alleged war crimes to justice through appropriate international bodies and mechanisms. In front of you now, I am signing this petition. Robert Halfon has already signed it. And I will continue for however long it takes to get justice for your relatives, because it is the right thing for any humanity. It has been an honour to be with you tonight, and I will finish by saying Nandri.